So we're going to start face down today. So if you have something to place, we're going to start in a child's. If you prefer crocodile, Kaylee's obviously in crocodile. Go ahead. But we're going to start in child's. So if you have something to place, like a block with a towel on it, feel free to use that. We're having technical difficulties again. I'm not sure why this is doing this. Skipped frames. It just keeps skipping. So hopefully it's working on Facebook for you guys. We'll see. So if you have something like this that you can place underneath your forehead, or just bring a fist on top of a fist and place your forehead down. So get ready and set up. Find a child's pose. Find a little pressure right on the center of the forehead. And start to breathe. Start to settle in. Start to let go of everything outside of your mat. Worries about tomorrow, things to do, the to-do list. Let it all go and just arrive in this position on your mat, feeling your breath. Find the pressure underneath your forehead. Connect to this space. And as you're breathing in, saying to yourself, I. As you breathe out, am. So a little focus right on the center of the forehead and adding I am to your breath. Just helping you become really focused on your breath and on your physical body. See if you can start to soften into the concept of I am being a complete sentence without the need to finish that with some label. Just I am. And then we'll go straight into moving and breathing. So place the palms of the hands on the ground and start to connect with the palms of the hand on the ground. A little pressure left and right. Start to push into the hands. Start to feel the hands. And then coming all the way up to a tabletop position, start to feel the wrists move left and right, starting to wake up the wrists, a little weight in the hands. Maybe moving the hands to point fingertips out. And then moving the hands to point maybe fingertips behind you a little. Sorry, backwards towards you.
Behind you works still.
Behind your wrists. Point back towards you. Little soft movements, waking up the wrists. And then turn the hands back, facing forwards. And then turn the fingertips under. So wrists a little open in the other direction. And then straight into moving and breathing. Tabletop, inhale, exhale, send the hips backwards. Inhale forward. Exhale backwards. Connecting with your breath. And then we're going to inhale forward and send the hips backwards to the right. inhale forward, send the hips backwards to the left. Connecting with our hands on the ground. Breath in the body. Moving and breathing. And you can stay with a simple movement, or if you would like to build upon this, you're going to inhale forward, tabletop. Exhale, send your hips backwards towards a down dog shape. Inhale back, tabletop. Exhale, child. So connecting with your breath still and not worrying about exactly what the shape is, just moving and breathing and having an internal experience. Land back in child's pose and take a little reset. Slowly come forward all the way to crocodile. One hand on top of the other, forehead down, and shimmy the hips. We're going to move and breathe on the back line. So bringing the hands to wherever they're comfortable for your shoulders. We're going to inhale, lift the shoulders, and exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Starting to locate all of the muscles in the back. Trying to find even use of all of the muscles in the back. Activate even the back of the legs. Maybe even lifting the feet a little off the ground. Even use of the glutes, the low back, the mid back. Take the tension out of the neck. Take the tension out of the face. Maybe even trying to squeeze in front of the hips. Use that lower core also. And then maybe starting to bring the elbows up and behind your back. Inhale as you lift, exhale as you lower. Connecting with your breath. Bring it back down to crocodile. Shimmy the hips, release and let go. Bring the hands down just ahead of the shoulders. And we're going to roll one shoulder at a time backwards, nice and slow. Rolling around, just trying to find nice, slow release of the shoulders. Maybe you find some tension, just checking in. And then lift the shoulders up. A little bit longer. I feel like somebody just made you longer from the crown of the head to the tip of the tailbone. And then turn and look towards the right toes. Maybe drop the left shoulder a little. Turn and look towards the left toes and drop the right shoulder. And then just find some movement across the shoulders, across through in between the shoulder blades. A little movement, a little space. Take the tension out of the neck, out of the face. Maybe you find a spot where you're like, oh, I'm just going to sit here for a few breaths. Find something that feels good. Feel free to stop and feel it and experience it. And then bringing the palms of the hands down, forearms down, elbows a little ahead of the shoulders. Start to activate the shoulders. So push the hands away from you and then feel like you're pulling them apart. Activate the shoulders and pull the chest through the shoulders. Push the hips down into the ground. Pull the belly button towards the spine. Press the tops of the feet down. Feel like you got a little longer from the crown of your head to your tailbone. Breathe. And then we're going to inhale in and lion's breath out. You can stick out your tongue or not. It helps to open up your throat. So 3 times we're going to breathe in and out, and then come down to crocodile pose. So taking a deep breath in to prepare. Bring it on down to crocodile. And notice any sensations that come up. Bring your hands in underneath the shoulders. Press back to a high hip child's pose. Connecting your hands, keeping your hips up off your heels, and finding some space in the lower back. Maybe even tucking the tailbone a little, finding a little more space in the low back. And then back to tabletop. Find a comfortable position for your wrists, arms, and shoulders. Get strong in the wrists, arms, and shoulders. Now we're going to take that right leg back, even with the hip. Hold and hover. Engage the stomach. Don't let the stomach bow. Bring it back up. Engage, hold. Bend the knee. Send the heel little pumps up to the ceiling. Slow and with control. Now we're going to do a little bit of moving and breathing here. So we're going to inhale, lift this leg up towards the ceiling. Exhale, bring it towards the chest. Inhale, lift. Exhale, bend the knee, bring the knee towards the right wrist. Back to straight inhale, exhale, in. We're going to make it a little complicated today. Exhale, pull knee to elbow. Inhale, straight. Exhale, pull knee to center. Inhale straight, exhale knee to elbow, hips engaged, stomach engaged. Bring it in, find your breath, challenge yourself, a little bit different. Inhale, straighten, exhale, squeeze. Find those muscles in your stomach, find the muscles in the back of your leg. And then bring that knee down. Sink the hips over to the right side, funky child. Slowly back up to tabletop. Reset. Maybe change your wrists this time. So take your wrists to a different position. Get really strong in the chest and stomach. Take the left leg up. And we're going to move and breathe here. Sorry, bend the heel. And then little pumps with the heel to the ceiling. Nice and slow and controlled. This can also be with your breath. Leg long. Inhale long, exhale knee to chest. Inhale long, exhale knee towards right wrist. Inhale long, exhale knee to chest. Inhale long, exhale around. Move with your breath. And then bring it down. Take a funky child's to the left side, hips to the left. Take the tension out of the neck. Bring it on back to tabletop. Slide the left leg, even with the hip sideways, so coming towards the left hand. So press into the heel here, pressing the heel into the ground. See if you can pull away from that heel, maybe opening up the inner thigh a little. And then maybe sinking the hips backwards a little, starting to feel the inner thigh a little bit more. Come forward, play with where you feel opening in the inner thigh. Find the point that feels good for you. And you can move or you can keep it static. And then return the left leg, take a little reset, and right leg out, even with the hip. Land it on the ground, and then pull the heel towards the hip. Find a little movement of the inner thigh. We lost Kaylee. And then bring that knee back. Tuck the toes, and we're going to bring the knees to a hover. So engaging chest, stomach, lift the knees, hover and hold. Make some room for the wrists. Make sure you're not pushing all the weight into the back of the wrists. Engage and hover. Feel a challenge. Get longer in the spine. Squeeze the stomach a little more. Bring the knees out and in, squeezing the muscles of the legs nice and slow.
Even out now. My nose was exploding. Sorry.
And then all the way up, tabletop. Oh, sorry, down dog. This is a down dog. Turn your world upside down. What do you need a different perspective on? Take some movement, warm up your down dog. See how you feel good. Have an internal experience. I don't know how your legs and your wrists and your arms feel. You do. Find some movement that feels good. Find your breath. And then turn your world upside down. Find the stillness of this pose. Let go of the tension in your neck. Connect with your head below your heart. Find long, slow, steady breath. Inhale, lift the right leg high. Reach long from the fingertips to the toes. Bend the knee, bring it towards the right wrist, and step it down. Find some movement in your low lunge. Inhaling forward, exhaling, sending right leg towards straight. Inhaling forward, exhaling back. Finding whatever movement feels good. You can move the hips around. You can move the knee out and in. Just mindful of whenever we move around a joint, we have our muscles engaged around the joint. So finding movement that feels good without floppy muscles. Engage, find some muscles.
Oh, I'm really tight.
And then land it forward if you have your blocks. It can be kind of nice to lift up onto the blocks just to make the ground a little closer. So Find engagement in low lunge. Lift up off the right thigh. From here, we're going to open up the hips. So lifting this left hip open and then down. Engaged legs, open and down. You can hold on to the ground. You can keep the left hand on the hip to help guide the movement and the right hand down. This should be pretty hard work. You should find muscles in the inner thigh.
I don't think I'm doing it.
Press into that right foot. Really press into the ground. Engage the whole right leg and the whole left leg. And then bring that down. Low lunge. Get really, really long in the spine. We're going to engage and inhale, rise all the way up, high lunge. Bring your hands to prayer. Settle in. Find a high lunge that you feel super strong and balanced in. That may mean you pop the back leg in a little. We're going to move and breathe. So we want to feel super strong and balanced in this pose. Find your base. Legs are active. If you want to feel even more active, you're going to feel like you're pulling your feet towards each other without letting them move. So engage, be nice and strong. We're going to inhale, arms wide open, up center, exhale down. Inhale, arms forward, and then exhale, sweep away. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale, open wide. Exhale, sweep away. Inhale up. Exhale, open hearts. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale, open. Inhale. Exhale, over. Inhale up. Exhale, open our hearts. Inhale up, exhale, sweep away things no longer needed. Inhale up, one more time. Exhale, draw our hearts open, elbows open, and hold. Imagine you could breathe in right into the center of the chest. And bring your hands back to prayer. We're going to bring the weight onto the right leg and pop up the left. Maybe a little hover, maybe full warrior 3. Breathe, get this left leg nice and strong. Right leg nice and strong. Draw up through the right hip. Bend the left knee and bring it all the way up to stand. Hold it to hover. And then we're going to inhale, lift our hands up, exhale, tap the toe. Inhale, lift our hands up, exhale, tap the toe. Some people call this heron pose. I like to call it Karate Kid. I have a teacher that said it was Karate Kid. It always makes me remember him. Bring it all the way up, and this time land the left foot. Tap out the right foot. Notice how it feels. We're on it for a while. Tuck the toes under on the right foot. And then feel like you're pulling your toes towards you without letting you move. Fire up the front of the foot, front of the leg. Press into the ball of the right foot. Find the arch of the right foot, kind of like you're standing in stilettos. Press into the ground and then pull up from the ground. Bring the weight onto the left leg. Lift the right leg. Push the outside edge of the right foot down. Active foot, push down. Like you're pushing on the gas, but you're trying to do it with the outside edge of your foot. Switch sides. Outside edge. Inside edge. And then take this right foot in a nice slow circle. And then the other way. And then bring it down, tap it out, see how it feels. It's really hot in here. Okay. Inhale, connect with your breath. Palms overhead. Bring them down to our hearts with the exhale. Inhale. Exhale down to our hearts. What do you need to scoop in? Inhale. Scoop it in. Draw it down to our hearts. Inhale, scoop it in. Exhale, draw it down. Pause. Maybe even close your eyes. Take a moment to feel how it feels standing on your own 2 feet. Take a moment to notice left and right sides. And then take a moment to check in. How am I? Interlace all the fingers, lifting the index fingers pointing up. Charlie's Angels Mudra. Bring the fingertips up overhead. So engaging the stomach tight first so that you're nice and strong in the stomach. Legs are engaged. So push the feet down into the ground. Feel like you're pulling them apart so they're really, really strong and engaged. Hands are up overhead and we're going to move and breathe here. Inhale, center, exhale, sway to the right. Inhale, center, exhale, sway. I'm going to turn this way. Inhale, center, exhale, over. So not worrying about getting over as far over as you can, but moving and breathing, engaging, and really thinking about extending one side without compromising the other side. So getting up and over and long. Find some muscles.
Skip frames are kind of funny. It makes it look like a clock. Tick, 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 tick,
I know.
tick, tick.
We're having technical difficulties on YouTube. I'm so sorry. The video hopefully is working better on Facebook. We'll figure this out. Bring it back through center. Hold here. Inhale, center. We're going to engage the legs and stomach. Exhale, bring our arms down and to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale, torso and arms down and to the right. Like we're trying to take our armpit past the knee. Inhale, center. Exhale. Inhale, center. Slow control using muscles. Bring it back up through center. Exhale, release the hands down. Bring them to prayer. Find your mountain.
It's floating. It's so funny.
Settle in. Now we're going to inhale up and swan dive it down. Touch the ground. Right foot back, left foot back. High plank or maybe in child. Find a little challenge set up in your high plank. Get strong from the feet to the fingertips. Breathe and hold. Take the tension out of the neck, the face. And staying very, very engaged. If you want to keep going for the challenge, we're going to lower the knees towards the ground and then back. Lower and then back, trying to keep everything else very strong and still. Lower and back.
Jeez, whatever we're doing is really making my nose go crazy.
Lower the knees. Send the hips back. Find your child's pose and reset. Find your breath. Come on back to a tabletop and then up to down dog. Sit up in your down dog, find your breath. Take the tension out of the head and neck. Inhale, lift the left leg high. Reach really long from the toes to the tips of the fingers. Bring the left foot behind the left wrist. Find some movement. Inhale, forward. Exhale, right, left leg towards straight. Video so bad.
Today is a disaster. We've had technical difficulties, nose difficulties.
Land in your low lunge and get really strong. Find the muscles in the front leg, find the muscles in the back leg. Super engaged. And then we're going to open the hips and close. So a hand can come to the right hip to help you find the movement. Open this right hip, open to the side, and then draw it down. Nice and slow. The slower you work, the more muscles you have to find. Don't just throw this hip in space and move through the joint. We're looking for muscles. Find some muscles to engage a little more. If this doesn't feel like hard work, go a little slower. Try not to over grip with the left toes. Maybe even lift the left toes a little off the ground. And then find a nice strong low lunge. Engage. Inhale, rise up, high lunge. And bring your hands to prayer and settle in. Find a nice sturdy high lunge that you can balance. We're going to inhale, arms up high, exhale, open. Inhale, arms up, exhale, sweep away. Inhale up, exhale, open. Inhale up, exhale, sweep. Find things you need to clear out. Exhale, draw in open heart. Inhale up, exhale, sweep it away. Inhale up, exhale into an open heart. Inhale up, exhale, sweep away. Look for gripping. Check on the lower back. Check on the face. Check on the neck, the shoulders, the left toes. One more time. Sweep it away. Bring it up. And draw hands down to prayer. Settle in. Bring the weight onto the left leg, pop up the right, maybe an inch, maybe full warrior 3. Hold. Get longer and stronger. Make space from the tailbone to the crown of the head. Engage the stomach. Engage the right leg, the right glute, the right heel is strong. Foot is strong. Breathe and hold. Bend the right knee and bring it all the way up to stand, and we're going into Karate Kid. Inhale, lift. Exhale, dip. Inhale, lift. Exhale, dip. Bring it all the way up, tap it down, tap the left foot out.
I'm trying to make more noise to make the lights go crazy.
Tuck the left toes under, let them land on the ground and pull like you're trying to pull that foot towards you without letting it move. Activate the front of this leg. Nice and strong. Bring the left toes. Press the ball of the left foot down. Find the arch of the left foot. Press into the foot. Feel the arch of the foot. You might need to move it around to find the arch of the foot. Pull up out of the ground. Left foot comes forward. Press down on the outside edge. And then the inside edge. Find the muscles in the ankle, left to outside edge. Find the muscles in the foot. Maybe pull the toes back. And then round again. Slow circle with the foot. Reverse the direction. And then tap it out. And if you're in a sweaty room, wipe off the sweat. So let's land on our feet and take our hands side to side. So tap, let the little balls of your hand tap. The balls of your fist. Tap left and right. Let go. Find your breath. Let your arms swing. Let your arms tap.
The video's kind of funny.
It's weird.
I was doing a class of the video. It's funny.
Just when we think we get it figured out, it starts acting up again.
Just laugh at the frustration.
Land on your 2 feet. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, bring that prayer down to your heart. Sorry, excuse me.
We're not sick. We just work in like
Construction.
centuries worth of dust every morning.
Excuse me.
Promise we're not sick. It's
Right.
just dust.
It's a prayer. Land. Breathe.
If you can.
Feel your fingertips touching. Find sensation in your fingertips. Maybe bring the backs of your thumbs to touch the center of your chest. Connect to the center of your body. Connect to your feet on the ground. Connect to your breath. And maybe connect to that breath. Inhale, I. Exhale, am. Inhale, I. Exhale, am. We're going to go down to the ground. So if you just want to inhale up and swan dive down, go ahead. You want to come with us and do a little challenge, right, Kaylee? Bring your hands out in front of you. Start to engage lower core. Bring the feet to the balls of the feet, lift the heels. Engage the legs. So legs are squeezing tight, lower core in front of your hips is pulling towards the spine. And we're going to slowly, as you can, lower your hips towards the heels. Go as slow as you can. Or just drop down and quit. So try to go as slow as you can. Land above the heels. So don't sit onto the heels, land above the heels. Challenge yourself. Hold here. Find a little stillness in this challenging pose. Maybe flip the palms.
You're really
amazing. And then you're going to sink it down. Come to your hips. I didn't mean all the way to the ground. The camera. Kaylee said we're going all the way to the ground. So we're going to do a little breath practice because this is yoga for anxiety. If you want to take it on the ground, you're free to take it on the ground. It's traditionally done seated, but that's only because breath moves up and down the torso. And it's often believed that if we get our spine nice and erect, it will help with the breathing. But if you are more comfortable laying down for breathing exercises, that's okay too. You can breathe on your back. There's no particular benefit that's more strongly, that happens more if you're sitting. So, I'm watching the video and it's really bad. All right, so get nice and tall. However you are, if you're laying down on the ground, just make space from the tailbone to the crown of the head. Check in on the lower back. So you have a natural curve in your lower back. Try and let that be there. Maybe even slide your fingertips towards it. See if it's there. See if you can bring a little more softness around the hips. A little more attention in front of the hips. Just to make sure that your spine feels supported enough to be in its natural curve. If you're seated, bring your hands, palms up on your lap. Imagine that as you're breathing in through a softness in the crown of your head, and it's going to come down through the brain and down the spine. It's going to get to the tailbone and it's going to go all the way back up. So just starting to connect with that pathway, inhaling through the crown of the head, down the spine, and then exhaling all the way back up again. Now we're going to take our fingertips and we're just going to tap our chest. So little light taps on our chest, underneath our collarbone. And you can stay with trying to connect with that breath or just focus on how the fingertip tapping feels. And then tap one side, only one side. Notice how that feels. Tap the other side, only one side. And then both sides at the same time. Maybe switch the rhythm so you're not tapping at the same time, like left, right, left, right, left, right. See how that feels? Huh?
Like do one hand and
yeah, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Find a rhythm. And then tap the face. Feel free to stick with the chest if you're not comfortable tapping the face, but tap the face left and right sides. And this one you can do same rhythm. Little soft tiny taps all over the face. Back of the neck. And down into the top of the shoulders. And then bring your palms back down to your lap or the ground. And try to connect with that breath again. Inhale through the crown of the head, down the spine. Exhale back up. Soften the stomach. Let the stomach just move with your breath. We're not forcing the breath with our muscles. And anxiety is often thought of as trapped energy, a little too much energy inside of the body. So we're going to practice maybe trying to expel a little of that excess energy. So breathe in fully. Exhale fully at a gentle pause. And then see if there's a little more exhale. Breathe in fully. Exhale fully. Pause. Breathe out again. Take a couple of rounds. And then return to just breathing in through the crown of the head, down the spine. Exhale back up. Maybe you want to give your breath a texture, temperature, color, imagining it coming down your spine and all the way back up. Imagine it drawing in fresh and sweeping away tension. Imagine it coming down free of holding patterns or misaligned bones or scars. Breathing in fresh. Exhaling things no longer needed. And then can you return again to I am. I as you inhale, am as you exhale. And then trying not to become too alert, make your way to your back for your final resting pose. Taking some time to maybe take a little hug with the knees in, rock side to side on the lower back. And find the resting pose that works for you. So you can keep your feet on the ground, knees up. You want to make sure that you have that nice soft curve in your lower back, the curve in your neck. Take your time landing in your resting pose. Return to that breath. I am. Just a couple more rounds of this breath. Giving yourself permission to just be as you are in this moment. I am. I am all of my swirling thoughts. I am more than my swirling thoughts. I am all of my swirling emotions. I am more than my swirling emotions. I am all of this physical body, and I am more of this, more than just this physical body. I am this energetic state. I am more than this energetic state. I am my mental patterns. I am also more than my mental patterns. And then really land on the ground and let go. See if you can land in that center point of the mind, as if anatomically landing right above the tailbone, right in the center of your brain. And imagine just looking back up at it and watching all the firing neurons starting to just let the thoughts be those firing neurons in the brain. Let go of the word why. Let go of the word should or should not. And just be. Give yourself permission to just be. And if you get distracted or the thoughts and mind tear you away, you get caught up, return to that practice. I am, softly and kindly repeating it to yourself. Speak to yourself the way that you would to a dear friend. If a dear friend gets lost and frustrated, would you beat them up? Do you yell at them and be frustrated? Or would you greet them with a little kindness and show them a little support as they find their own 2 feet? So we're getting close to our 60 minutes. If you have something you need to go and do, follow along. If you need to take longer in your resting pose, take as long as you need, as long as you can. Maybe set a quick timer and take a little longer if you have something you need to do, or just let your body rest here for as long as it needs. Take time in your resting pose. Take as long as you need. And if you're following along with us, bring a knee in at a time to the chest and curl up in a little ball. Just stay in a little ball on your back for a second. Feel this rounded, protected kind of a shape. And then roll over to a side in a fetal position, and whichever side is calling to you. Again, curled up in a rounded, kind of supported, protective state. Connecting with the fetal pose, the purpose of this pose, or the meaning of this pose. So we come to this pose to remind ourselves of a time in the womb. When I first heard that, I thought it was the craziest thing I ever heard. Why do we need to go back to being a fetus? We come to this pose because being in the womb was a time when all of our needs were met. And a time when we had not judged ourselves as negative or positive. We were simply a spark of life. We come to this pose to remind ourselves that this spark of life exists within us, unchanged by our experiences, waiting patiently for us to connect within and see how beautiful we truly are inside. Go back to a time when you had not worried about what others think, or looked in the mirror and given yourself that word, too much, too, I'm too this or I'm too that. And then perhaps leaving some of those judgments and harsh words we use against ourselves on the mat, and take this moment to rise up fresh, a little lighter. Finding a new breath, finding a new moment, and bringing our hands to heart space. This gesture, bringing our left and right sides in front of our heart, as if accepting ourselves as whole and complete, precisely as we are. May we all know love, light, and connection, and may we all find the ability to ride the waves of our thoughts and our feelings and the chaos of the time without being so completely battered and disturbed by it. May we all find our inner peace. Thank you for joining us.